Hello once again to the WIHS Journal, Public Affairs from 104.9 FM. I'm Paul Kretschmer. On today's broadcast, we're going to be using excerpts of an interview that a staffer in the morning at Faith Radio in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, aired recently with the Reverend Billy Russell about the aftermath of the George Floyd death. Some of the program content that you hear is quite emotional, and so please listen carefully to what the participants have to say.
So in October of 2009, I had a conversation with Pastor Billy Russell from the Greater Friendship Baptist Church, and we talked about the realities of racism in this country. Billy is back with us this morning. I know that we didn't anticipate that things would be resolved by now, but Billy, let me just confess that I had hoped that never would I see what we have now all seen, and I just want to offer you an opportunity to reflect this morning with me and in front of those who are listening all across the country and around the world to this conversation between two Christians. I'm reviled by what has happened, and I've also heard from some of my Black friends that they're sad that the white Christian community is surprised by this. So I'd just love to hear from you this morning. And again, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I don't even know what to say at this time. I know we talked years ago and but all that was going on, and I thought we would never be back here because I thought they was changed by now, but things have not changed. I literally have not gone to sleep all night. I've gotten calls from all over the country. There are so many Black people, African-American people who are upset by this, who want to come here and who want to do what was done last night because their anger is just anger. And out of all the things I've tried to do to try to prevent this from happening, we finally got to this boiling point. We got a boiling point right now where I don't condone what's happening, but I knew what's going to happen. I knew the anger was going to come like this. It's going to come out like this. And right now, people want me to do, what can you do to stop it? I can't stop it. I can't stop it. It's been coming out, and I don't know how far we're going to go in this. It is unprecedented, but right now, I don't know what we're going to do to stop this because, yeah, and my heart is hurting. My heart is truly, truly hurting right now. I've cried all night.
I think that for us to have reached the place as a country where people who speak professionally for a living, which would include you and me, we don't quite know what to say. And the feelings related to this are one thing, and I think that talking about how we're feeling and acknowledging that we're at a place that from which we hoped we had moved away. I'll use the word progressed, but I'm not sure that's the right word. I'm not sure that there was ever a depth of repentance, which is required in order that something be genuinely cast away, in order that something new can move in and live there. And so I'm not sure that a genuine racism has been replaced with a heart of impartiality of the gospel. Clearly it has not. And so we're not there, and we're not there in my experience, Billy, in no small measure because the Christian community is pretty much at the same place as everybody else. There's not an uprising among white Christians across the United States of America alongside our Black and brown brothers and sisters saying, we're done with this. We are done with this. Let us be done with this. And so I think that for me, that's a part of the frustration. Let me read a tweet. I don't know this individual on Twitter, but I do think that it reflects what you are describing. A fuse has been lit. And that fuse has been lit from a lack of inaction. The job losses that people of color have experienced, the lack of support, the injustice, it seems as if people are there for corporations, but not there for Black people. The race baiting doesn't help. I mean, it goes on and on. And so when we start looking at the the layers of this or the concentric circles related to this. We're in some deep water, and we clearly don't know how to swim here.
Well, coming up like I did in Mississippi and thinking about, it's just unreal. I got all kind of calls from Mississippi. It's like it should have been better in Minnesota, but it's not better in Minnesota. And right now, I just don't know what to think about all of this. Like I say, I've cried all night. And the bottom line is, when it all comes down to it, where do we go from here? I've met with people after people, white people after white people, white Christian after white Christian. I've tried to promote we're better together. I promoted that the last 8 years. I've said, look, we can do this together. But right now, I'm at a point where I don't know where to go next. Right now, all I can say is God got this. And God got to help me, because I don't know what I do from here. I don't know what I do from here. It's easy for me just to go to the other side and just say, okay, it's time to stop this conversation. It's just time to go crazy. I don't want that. But that's what
I know you. Well, and I appreciate your being honest, because I think that too often we suggest that there are simple answers, or we suggest that there are solutions, and the reality is, until there is a change of heart, one by one by one by one by one, until there's a sufficiency of a change of heart, people are going to treat other people as if they are less than fully human. And, Billy, you and I know that gets down to the root of the worldview issue. If I don't see every other person as a fellow image bearer, with whom I stand on equal footing at creation, at the cross, and in the kingdom of heaven, if I see any other human being as anything less than fully like me in terms of created in God's image, a person for whom Christ was crucified, and a person with whom I am potentially going to spend eternity in the kingdom of heaven, if I don't get that, then I see other people in the same way that Darwin suggested, which is that it's the survival of the fittest, and might wins. And I think the potential devolution into fighting, into actual fighting in the streets, is what is in front of us, and it's the responsibility of everyone. That is not the responsibility of one frustrated, rightly incensed group of people. That is the fault of everyone.
And that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling less.
Yep.
I've been on this fight for all these years, and things have not gotten any better. All these years since I was a child growing up in Mississippi, and the thing that happened to me, to see these things still happening, I'm feeling less than human right now. When I grew up, I was like, it's a sin to be black or something. So it is still that way right now. And all these people I've been hanging out with, all these white Christians, these Christians I've been hanging with, but now we come down to this. So yeah, I'm really, really, you're talking about hurting. And when I say I literally cried all night, and still crying right now.
Graciously joining me this morning, Pastor Billy Russell from the Greater Friendship Baptist Church in Minneapolis. Billy, can I pray for you?
Yeah, I really need somebody to pray with me, because then I don't go to the other side. Because right now, I can't stop crying. Pain is so great.
Hey, I get it. I get that. I get the desire to be and the need to be ministered to. So thank you for your willingness to join us as a brother this morning.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessings.
You've been listening to excerpts of an interview that the morning host at Faith Radio in Minneapolis, St. Paul held recently with Reverend Billy Russell in the wake of the murder of George Floyd. For further information, call us at 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily those of the staff or management of the station. I'm Paul Kretschmer on the WIHS Journal, Public Affairs from WIHS, Middletown.